Hello, Elaine here. I am here for this week ahead predictions. This is for today, September 30th to October 6th. We are going to have a, solar eclipse on Wednesday, so just a lot of energy came up. This was the activations for the week and energies for the week. Um, Sorry, I'm getting over a cold, so I'm trying to pace myself out and not start coughing or anything. Anyhow, before I get ahead of myself, thank you for showing up. Please like, subscribe, and share. And then, um, if so, the readings will be broken down to the energy of the week, and then I'll bring in cardinal energy, mutable energy, and fixed energy. You can listen to all of them. You can check out your uh, rising and sun signs, um, or like I said, listen to all of them. And if there's something that comes up, just you know, if it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, let it go. Maybe it will make sense later. And to speak about the energy of the week, it will be, it's not like bam, you're going to hit it all, feel it all this week. I feel like this is, well, one, the eclipse energy, the solar eclipse energy is something that will unfold over the next 6 months until the next eclipse season in March and April. And you will feel this. I feel like this is actually going to be an eclipse that is for relationships, and I kind of see that in the cards too. And that's like relationships, you know, it's not just with partners, friends, and acquaintances or other people in your life. This is relationships that you have with yourself, relationships with money, for example, your own health. These are just, it's going to be a little bit of everything. So I definitely feel like it's important to journal. If you know, I say journal. I'm not always the best at journaling, but I do it, and I try to keep it by me so I can journal. So this is definitely something you, kind of the themes that will start to unfold this week are something you kind of want to look into. So, and as I said, things will unravel more uh, as we progress into the 6 months of this transition. So I think I didn't mean to pull these many cards, but this, the universal love and transition fell out, and I felt like there was another card needed. And then the same with these, the alignment, and actually the alignment fell out first, and then the affinity and revisit shot out together. So let's start getting into the cards, so I can focus on what I'm doing because my brain is feeling a little scattered. Okay, so it's 44 universal love, and the frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. And then we'll go to the transition. The frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever changing nature of existence and our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. And then we have perception. Sorry, and that was 43. And then we have 35. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. So when these cards, like I said, I wasn't planning on pulling out this many cards. I usually have the intention of one or two, but two shout out together, these two, and then the perception. And I feel like this is very much the eclipse energy. This is the universal love and the relationships that I was feeling into for the eclipse, and even this week. And, you know, it's very important to, we try to balance a lot of stuff, and it is hard to be positive or have a positive outlook. But I feel like in all things, we are usually connected on love or a caring basis. And I think this has to do with the relationship and the reflection of how we are going about our day to day, how we uh, handle our relationships. And like I said before, it's not only relationships with people, but relationships with how we move through life and how we treat other objects and beings in life. So that's kind of what I'm feeling, and that this eclipse is going to make us really focus on that and transition and see where what we need to let go, where, and when I say let go, there's even like there's the things that, it's easy to say the things that no longer serve us, but those things are comforting to us too. So, and in a way they did serve us, but we have to let them go in order to receive a different perception, actually, and to meet those edges and to grow. It's what's coming to mind right now is like when you have a house plant and the roots start to get bound up. So basically the pot is too small for the plant, and so there are things that you can do to make sure that the plant stays healthy in that pot, or in that planter. You get it a new uh, planter or pot, or you trim back some of the roots and then give it new soil. And so it's like those sheddings of it wants to grow bigger, but it can't. And so it's like, what are we doing? Where are we stunting ourselves? And I think that is the overall theme, because for a plant, sometimes people want to control them and keep them in that same plant, and you trim back the roots and then give it fresh soil, and it starts to flourish again, but it's still kind of contained. So to actually grow past that, you have to come out of that safety and change, and even go into a new environment. I know that was the thing that popped up into my head for right now for that. So, um, that's what these cards are feeling like. And the same thing with these. It's like we have infinite possibilities. There's a lot of possibilities that we can tap into, but where are we limiting ourselves? And I think that's what the revisit was. And the alignment is bringing ourselves into knowing what we need to let go and surrender versus holding on to something and dragging it along. You if you're outgrowing that pot, you need to, or even if you want to go with like a fish tank analogy, if you're a big fish, or there's only so much you can do in the fish tank. You're going to have to maybe get released or get a bigger fish tank. I know these are a little random, but that's what my brain is coming up with right now, or what I'm getting shown. All right, and I skipped ahead. I think it's the cold. So 222 alignment, heart, infinity, and 666 revisit is the energy of this week. All right, and then we got one random. I was told to pull out one random tarot card, and you know, the Nine of Swords. This is kind of like one of the darker cards, and it's about stress. And I feel like this is actually telling you to release whatever thoughts, whatever little things that are holding you back or not allowing you to revisit or even have these perceptions. And journaling comes up again. And even if you don't have a journal, use a notepad in your phone. Everyone has a phone, and write yourself a note. And I think this is also kind of grief comes to mind, which this is not the Three of Swords card, but it makes me think of letting go of things is not always easy. And it is that comfort of the sameness or knowing what it is. And I understand it's hard, and you might have some grief or some misgivings, and even some resistance is another word that is coming to mind to the change. And it it doesn't, resisting really just um kind of wastes your energy, and we all have to process in different ways, and just be gentle with yourself. Don't waste your time worrying and feeling, getting getting too caught up in these thoughts, because those aren't reality. The reality is happening around us, happening within us. And I would say to self connect with yourself and move through. And even, like I said before, journaling and writing stuff down is coming to mind a lot. So that's kind of the energy of the week for everyone that I'm getting. And we're going to move into our cardinal signs right now. So we have the intuition and downloads. We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Chariot. And we have the World Reverse. So the guidance card is definitely this intuition and downloads. And I feel like you will be getting nudges, and to listen to them, and not listen to them. Or the Seven of Swords is kind of like sneaking around, being a little deceptive. And I think this is definitely saying to listen to yourself, or listen to those inner nudges that you get. They are very soft, they're very subtle, and it, even I get that little nudge, and I'm like, no, it will be okay, and then I regret it. But I acknowledge that misstep that I have, of where it's like I knew, but I did it anyways. So slow down. Don't, don't buy into your own bull. And for some reason, I don't know, Emperor's New Groove is coming up. I started playing it for my dogs, to distract them. while I recorded this. So I don't know if that has a meaning to anyone, but I'll just throw it out there. Um, and the Knight of Cups, I think something is coming in for you guys. It is not going to be fast moving. I think with the Chariot coming in, that there you will want to race ahead or pull in that alignment. But I think this is a beginning. So the World card is not upright, it is reverse. So this is feeling like transition energy of, you know, learning to listen to yourself. These reevaluating your perspective, or your, well, I'll say perspective, but your perception, and finding that alignment for you and knowing what to move forward on versus just rushing ahead. Um, Definitely with the intuition and the revisit, that's what I'm feeling is like maybe even think about where you're at and what is happening and see if anything comes in. Journaling again will help, and it will also, you know, if you write it down, you can go back and reflect on it and think about it and see actually if what you were seeing is correct versus or what you were seeing or how it plays out is actually what your original perception was. um and I just feel like this is like a slow down energy. You will get there. It just not, it will not be overnight. So and like for whatever reason it's popping into my head the 6 months. So I don't know if something will come up, but this will be a slow unfolding, not something to race to the end. And all right, so that is for our cardinal signs. I will set these aside and we will move on to the mutable signs. All right, for mutable signs, we have expect miracles. I'll hold that up to the camera. We have the Five of Pentacles. We have the Hermit. We have the Wheel. And we have the Moon. Immediately when I saw these cards, I focused in on the Hermit and the Moon, Virgo and Pisces, both mutable. And with the expect miracles, I just felt like there is definitely something positive. There is something that will help you move forward that maybe even you didn't think was possible. So it's very positive energy. My eye is being drawn to the Nine of Swords up here. I think this is something that you've been worried about and possibly even stressed about. So, you know, don't focus on this. Focus on the positive. And then the Five of Pentacles came up, and immediately, you know, this is kind of a dark card. Five of Pentacles, you know, I also started to think of scarcity mindset, and these two kind of go together in the sense that it's like you're stressing out, you know, and you don't really have to. Don't be in this energy of it's not going to work out for me. You have very positive energy, and this might be also something that you need some time alone, and you need to be able to go within and figure out what is happening. Maybe the universal love is coming in figuring out that relationship, that whatever needs to change, what is the scarcity that you have, what what transition do you need to make, what new perspective, I keep saying perspective, so I'll go with it, perspective, perception, what needs to shift for you to be able to see, uh and this is feeling, you know, it also with the moon card being in, it may be something subconscious that you need to pull forward, something that you didn't realize you were doing, so something you need to revisit. It might be very minute, but because it is small and you don't notice and you keep doing it, may be something that is having a larger ripple effect that you haven't realized yet. And with the will, I definitely feel like, I usually wouldn't say this, but it's the balance between these, and it also feels like a clearing out. I'm looking at this energy and that energy, and it's like balancing and making them work together versus trying to resist. Um, Let me just look at these cards and make sure. And with the Five of Pentacles, it just, I'm feeling drawn to speak about it again. You know, it's, you may not see your possibilities yet, and maybe give yourself a break and chill out, and go to the ocean, go to your happy place that will give you that space for you to hear what you need to, and switch or be able to change your perspective or your inner dialogue, to yourself and that scarcity mindset. Okay, so let me just look at it one more time, make sure there's nothing I'm missing. No, I'm feeling pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the fixed signs. Thank you, Mutable Signs. All right. So fixed signs, we have, I keep doing this, joy and contentment, the Two of Cups, the Emperor, the Page of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. So with the joy and contentment, I definitely feel like focusing on, because it brings back this Nine of Swords, which is kind of making me understand why it was placed there, is we all have our little thoughts that we get trapped in, our negative emotions, are for our shadow aspect, though these are all things that we need, to break free of, or not even, I don't even want to say you need to break free of your shadow aspect. That will always be there. You learn to navigate and be able to balance, better with understanding your shadow self. And that's also bringing in the Two of Cups. And fixating on the negative is not what we need, because I think we, when we decide to feel our feels and we get stuck in the lower end of our feels, sometimes it's a little harder to transition back to being positive. And I think with this um, card reading and this week and going forward into this eclipse energy, and it's really going to be bringing things into balance and accepting both parts of us. And even with the Page of Pentacles, that's usually not what it means, but it feels like balance here. And with the Emperor, you know, this card has honestly been haunting me a little bit. Um, it's very Aries energy, which I think don't. I would have to double check, but the last eclipse in April was Aries, and I think that was one of the last. I can't remember if that's the last one in Aries or we have another cycle going. Um, but I really feel like this one is the stepping into um, leadership ability versus trying to avoid it, and being capable of being in that leadership and that spark of initiation versus trying to sit back and let things come to you. It and finding that balance, because I think finding that balance will give you this spark, and it will start activating these, all of the things that you don't see because of our perception. I keep saying perspective. Because we have a tendency to limit ourselves or play small, and I think with finally sitting in your power and feeling the joy and contentment, it will balance things out and let you move forward. But also, these are both new things. So the Page of Wands, new passions. This Page of Pentacles makes me think of new, I don't know, my new, the balancing and sorry, and the trees are actually drawing my attention, but finding that balance and starting something new. It might be material, and just not having that balance of passion and responsibility. I think that's what I was trying to say when I was struggling a little bit. Okay, so let me see if there's anything else. No, I think that is it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say we're good with today's reading. Thank you very much, and you guys take care. Take care of your health, since I'm getting over a cold. Good reminder to take care of yourself. And thank you guys for showing up, and I hope you guys have a good week, and I will see you next week. Thank you. Bye.